Hello everybody and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Apparently something's happened inside the rec room and we're gonna check that out right away. Anyways, what you want, Hina? Makoto, Kyoko. Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. What's inside? There was a window on the rec room door and I hurried to look inside, and when I did... Sakura? She dead? Or is she just sitting there? She unconscious? Oh, that may be it as well. What is that on the... Hold on, can I take the text box away? There's something on the bottom right there, like a napkin with blood on it. She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head.
Hey.
What's going on? Did something happen to her?
Huh?
I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window, but I couldn't get the door open. Oh, it's locked. I tried knocking, I tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. So what should we do? What are we gonna do?
Anyway.
First of all, we need to get into that room. But the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations. Oh, true.
Listen to me.
We're going to force our way in. I just said.
Wrong.
The door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room doesn't have a lock. Huh? Then why? Is something holding it? Is something shoved behind the door?
It would seem...
Feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair? Chair?
In other words...
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means, as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in?
Indeed.
Let's smash the windows. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Alright, she's probably dead. Thank you for that death flag, Makoto. You dick. She okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure. There was only silence. That silence didn't last long. Here. I found a broom. In the classroom. Use it.
Makoto.
You can handle this, right, Makoto?
Please.
Come on, please hurry. Okay, you two, stand back. I took a hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could, aiming directly at the window. All it took was one solid hit. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... Oh, I see what they mean. So like if you have a chair and you lean it against the like underside of the doorknob. So did Sakura lock herself in? Is that what happened? Huh. I pushed on it with all my strength and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... She dead? Yeah. Oh, she's smiling? Damn. She went out like a G. All I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life has abandoned Sakura's body. And then... a body has been discovered! Right? The dead body announcement.
A body has been discovered.
Yep.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
I'm kind of surprised Sakura's dead. Actually, no, I'm not, because she was revealed as the spy in the last episode. But the question is, who would even kill her? And even if someone did kill her, there's nobody inside the room now, right? Meaning that Sakura locked the door, so like, I don't know. What was she killed by? Because Byakuya is too smart to kill someone who he was arguing about not trusting with Hina the other day. Hina's her best friend. Kyoko is too smart. She hasn't really done anything to make us suspect that she would murder someone. In fact, she's probably the person who least wants to do that because for some reason she wants to find the headmaster or whatever. Hero, he's just Hero. And we're the protagonist. And Toko slash Genocide Jill is just hardcore simping for Byakuya, so she wouldn't do anything unless he told her to do it. So, like, nobody really has a motive in this case, to be honest. Especially when they know that Sakura's just like a Tekken character. Like, nobody's gonna risk stabbing her. That would be too risky.
Sakura's dead? She's really dead?
Yep. I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared readily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. Monokuma, quick! The report, please! I want to see how she died. We didn't make it in time. It happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? Oh no. This is gonna make Hina snap. I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone. What? Ogre! Oh shit, dude! It wasn't me, I swear!
Yes.
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed. I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were gonna say?
Huh?
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room.
It's your fault.
It was one of you, Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. One of you killed Sakura. No, I don't think so.
What?
You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. Yeah, and so it would be really fucking stupid for him to murder her. Because if he was the Blackened, then he would just get sniffed out right away and then die. Stop being a dumbass. Actually, I'm gonna give you some leeway since it was your best friend that just died, but still, Hina, for the last 3 murder trials, goddamn, you've been kind of obnoxious. One of you did it, I know it. Who's that? You know it? Is that Monokuma? You know it? Yeah. Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much by just getting mad. What are you, a Super Saiyan?
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come on.
Isn't it obvious I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer?
It's the Monokuma file.
The Monokuma file! And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that little lewd face of yours. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura? Stop asking this fucking question. Please. Monokuma didn't kill nobody. Jesus Christ, he's here to watch y'all murder each other. He's here to get entertainment value from you murdering each other. There is no benefit to Monokuma killing someone. Literally. At least not right now. Jesus Christ, I swear to God, it's every single time. Stop it. Get some help.
Say what?
Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again and then...
In other words...
Then I killed her? That doesn't make sense. So they dueled here and then Monokuma locked her inside the rec room with the chair and then sat her down peaceful like, and she died with a smile on her face. That doesn't seem to make much sense, Makoto. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that, saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. Yeah. Sakura was a Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct.
Hey,
I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blanket is this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe them one? Oopsie. Before you get all pitsy potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right? Ooh-hoo-hoo. Ooh-hoo-hoo.
What is this?
I feel like I've come to enjoy voicing Monokuma, even though the voice kind of like messes me up for a bit. What the hell? He owes them one?
I won't forgive you.
I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway,
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura. Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
what?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that in order. In order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
What?
Which is... Hiro Byakuya Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. That's such bullshit.
It's your fault!
One of you killed Sakura.
I won't forgive you.
That's why you're here watching over her body so that the evidence doesn't get needlessly trampled on. Let them investigate, you dunce. Jesus Christ. I won't let someone like that come near her.
Stop talking.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear.
I won't ask you to let all of us in, just let me. You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Yep.
Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hero, do you really object? You're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care, bro?
It's all clear.
Then it's decided.
What are you saying?
Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But
Hey,
we have to find out who killed Sakura.
correct.
For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally. We wouldn't want to touch a filthy dead body.
Listen,
That's enough fighting. We need to move on the investigation from here on out, or focus. Jesus Christ. If we want to keep this in mind, if we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Just do it! Monokuma report. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ugami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. Oh. So, okay. shit. Okay. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violently vomiting of blood. Huh? Was she poisoned? Vomiting blood? Is that?
Hey,
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through, and that door had been jammed shut with a chair from the inside the rec room. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was locked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escapes, right?
In other words...
This is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever, but could it really have happened in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Hey.
I mean, I don't know, bro. If we're focusing on the dead body in the middle of the room, I wouldn't be surprised if someone sneaked or some shit. Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits this crime and then through special methods seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include the string, simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words...
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or a tool from outside to target the victim's inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun, and you shoot an arrow through a gap in the door or something like that. Obviously, that didn't happen. She was hit in the head and then she was vomiting blood. There's no superficial wounds.
However...
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. Yep. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
It's true.
The third is the type when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. But where would they hide, though? Maybe they hid behind the door when the door was open and then pretended to find it with everyone else? What do you mean by that?
In other words...
They stay hidden, and when the door is opened, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
It's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room?
In other words...
By that, I mean there is actually an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot... Jesus Christ, excuse me. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible. And you think we can cross that one off too?
Indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. And Kyoko, which of the 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
True.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up a locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. This. Oh, I thought that was blood on the napkin. So I guess it wasn't. This looks like some kind of wrapper. Oh, candy?
Huh?
Ah, that's... Do you recognize that, Hina?
Well...
Oh yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura's got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. Damn. Leave some for the rest of us. Jesus Christ. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really liked them that much. But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Huh. Blood. Is that where she puked up blood or whatever? There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. Must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Ah, right. Interesting. The same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. Okay. What is this? There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have been originally a bottle. Huh. There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits on the palm of my hand. Oh, that's on top of the thingies. It's a Monokuma figure. It's those. So someone was in the room. Because was she hit in the head with a bottle? Is that what happened? That would make sense. Because, like... yeah, that would make sense. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. Someone moved one bottle over, I think. What I'm wondering is how they get those figures inside the bottles.
So...
it's no different from your standard shape in a bottle, huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
in other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Was that really necessary? I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura was, or must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle. That's what I said! The shards of glass in the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that Monokuma bottle was the weapon. But why was she vomiting blood? Could the candies have been like... I don't know. Poisoned? But Hina said she gave it to her and that nobody else had access to them. And where would someone get poisoned from? Oh shit, wait! We got access to the chemical lab. And they were saying something about that having like protein and poison and shit. I need to check that room. What is that? Locker? And there are handprints inside the locker. They hid inside of the locker and blended in with everyone else. Shoot. Well, it's probably not smart for them to leave that there. Nice job covering your goddamn tracks, killer. Huh? The locker's open and then there on the inside, it's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? Looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and left the handprint in the dust.
It's true.
And it looks right fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in there until the locker room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group?
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Why?
Hey.
Think back, before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh, damn. They got me. They really got me. But then who the hell was hiding in the locker? Like, why was someone hiding in the locker? Maybe the killer was hiding in the locker and then peekabooed Sakura and smacked her on the head with the bottle. But then, like, how did they get out of the room after locking it from the inside? That doesn't make any sense, right? Like, there's no other place you can hide.
Indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? The killer was hiding in there to surprise Sakura, maybe? But like, if that was the case and they didn't use it to blend in with the group afterwards, how did they end up making the locker room in the first place? I'm confused. Doesn't make sense to me. Alright, shards, blood, Sakura's body. Sakura drew her last breath, sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obviously evidence of a blow to the head that Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that was what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she also had vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. She didn't bite her tongue off, did she? That's a lot of blood for poison. So what would be the cause for her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Okay, so no, okay. Sakura, or status of Sakura's body has been added to the truth bullet section. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? I mean, isn't vomiting blood like most of the time related to either like injuries to the digestive tract or maybe injuries to your throat? But like the Monokuma report says, there were no injuries or superficial thingies. So that doesn't make much sense. And like, if that was the case, then why is the candy wrapper on the floor? So she ate something before she started vomiting blood? It would make more sense for her to have been poisoned, right? Or maybe the candy's just there to confuse us? Either way, there's no superficial injuries. Not a chance. Byakuya.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting, but it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely had to be connected to why she died. Okay. Clock? It's around 1 o'clock now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego? Oh. Nope, not the chair. Oh, well, yes, the chair. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. So, yeah. That confuses me. If the killer wasn't hiding in the locker by the time Sakura was dead and we peeked through the window, then the killer couldn't have been in the room hiding anywhere. So did Sakura lock herself in? That would be the only way someone would be able to put the chair under the doorknob if they were still in the room, right? I mean, she seems to have died in a pretty peaceful position, to be honest with you. And considering she was hit in the head with a bottle, if that was what truly killed her, then she probably wouldn't be sitting down peacefully on a chair. I'll tell you that. Anyways, what's this container of shit? Proteinzyme X. Chem A2. Okay. That's a big ass hint there. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So...
It looks like a protein drink and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. Was her protein poisoned? And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the chem lab has all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from a chem lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is it?
Hey.
You see what's scattered around the can? Glass? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath. Oh! Whoa. So someone put it there? What the fuck is going on? Why does that matter?
So...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll be an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. Someone is planting evidence. Someone is planting evidence. Because otherwise, if that was already there by the time Makoto broke the window, the glass would be around it, not under it. Alright, let's talk to Byakuya.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me, go away. He's not even trying to hide how much he despises me. I'd better go before he crushes my soul completely. Byakuya, what happened? You were starting to come around in the last class trial. Come on, stop being a dick, bro. You want me to go back to calling you Bakula? Stop it. Get some help.
However,
But for Sakura to have been killed. Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist. Oh, I really want to sneeze. I really want to sneeze. I can't. It's like one of those sneezes that is like right there, but it doesn't want to come out. All right, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? It must have taken her by surprise, right? My theory, I think, is right. The killer hid in the locker for some reason, because I guess they wanted to kill Sakura, and then they hit her over the head with the bottle. But like, that's not what killed Sakura, right? Obviously the poison did. Because like, there's like, I'm assuming, and I'm assuming this based on the crime scene, the blood is like several feet away from the couch or the chair. So Sakura must have got hit upside the head. She's vomited blood for whatever reason. I think she was poisoned. Based on the little chem lab detail they just gave us, and someone's starting to plant evidence. And then I guess like, I don't know what happened after that, because the killer wasn't in the room, so I'm assuming the only person who could even shut the door at that point was Sakura. But then why would Sakura let the killer escape if they bashed her alongside the head? That's the thing. It's not something you probably would let go if someone smashed you upside the head with a bottle.
Certainly.
They would have needed to do that if they expected to stand a chance against her. I agree.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro, it had to be one of them. That's still 1 in 3. We can die if we choose 2 of the wrong people. Stop being such a dumbass. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet with her. You know where, right? Right here in the rec room. What? What are you talking about? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she said she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon? The Monokuma file said she died at night around then. I'm telling you the truth, I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she wanted to just talk to him. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hina, it's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those 3 to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, might be good to confirm what I just heard with 3 of them directly. Interesting. Byakuya, why were you asked to meet with Sakura?
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to ask you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her here in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. That is true? I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura all day today. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. I'm gonna throw money at you. Kyoko wasn't one of them, right? It was, yeah, it was,
Certainly.
yeah, shut up. Alright, I think we're out of here now. Actually, the door. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only noticeable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see any suspicious thing about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's doubt that the reason for the door not being open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. Or there's no reason to doubt. Sorry. I'm out of it today. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of that door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside. But like, how would they do that? And then get out of the room? So how could they simultaneously do the locked room from the inside, but then not be inside the room when you find the body? Something's off about this. I gotta figure out what it is.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so for the most part.
So then.
And you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
Listen to me.
Which is why I've decided that you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. Well, she's right. I do have to go talk to others. Sakura wanted me to meet with 2 more people. Or wanted to meet. I need to hear what they have to say. So Toko is one of them. This door's the only way... Yeah, let's get out of here. Shut up. Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. Wait, we're not gonna go to the chem lab? What about the chem lab? Maybe we'll check that later? I'm surprised that's not like the first thing we checked, cause like of that bottle of protein that we found. Byakuya, Sayaka, Junko, Toko. I pressed the doorbell, and after a few seconds, are you Genocide Jill or Toko? You're Toko. What up? Huh?
Who's there?
Oh, voice acting. The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
What do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Yes, shuts the door in my face. Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
Well...
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me that she asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with my master too? I just said 2, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I admit I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims that she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Okay. Chihiro, Celeste, Aoi, Sakura, Leon, Hiro, bro, come out.
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How'd you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. Oh, so you went to actually meet her? Interesting. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and then she happened to mention the others in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. Yeah, super sus. Just tell me you went to meet her, bro. So then you went and met with Sakura.
Got it all wrong.
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey,
Sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hand out of his pocket. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. A candy wrapper. Hiro, you sly dog. Where'd you get this from? Where'd you get this from, buddy? Where'd you get this one from, motherfucker? Where'd you get it from? Hina told me that she has the box of candies in her room. Where'd you get it from, dumbass? Tell me already, before I beat the shit out of you, Hiro. Where'd you get it from? Quickly, quick as wind, Hiro snatched it back up again. Come on, bro. And shoved it back into his pockets.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash. Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked me to meet with her, but I never went, so if you excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way at all that that was all there was to it. It's a goddamn candy wrapper. It's the one we just literally saw, quite literally. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What's next? I'll definitely have to look into the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. Sure, it must have come from the chem lab. So, where should I start? First things first, I want to check out the chem lab, because that seems like hella sus. Chem lab's on this floor, right? I think. Yeah. All right. Is Byakuya in the chem lab? Byakuya, why are you in the chem lab? I thought you were at the crime scene.
What?
Makoto, then you have your eye on the chem lab too. Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was yes, sir. I understand. Shut up. Whoa, spill on aisle 2. This isn't my first time seeing this shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. Looks like the 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf, but more importantly right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle has a label on it, Chem C4. Is that fucking poison? Are you serious? Bro. At least cover up your fucking mess. Jesus Christ, killer. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled.
So in other words,
That's right. It could have only been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must have been related to the case somehow. None of you are gonna remark on the skull on the container? It's obviously poison. Oh my lord. I'm gonna kill one of you. On this shelf is one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals with the goddamn skulls on them. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and the number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section C. Are you not gonna connect those? Nothing?
so in other words,
Okay, alright. You're not gonna say anything about that point being poisoned then. You're not gonna say anything. So on this shelf looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents, but simply they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh? What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
that's fine.
The world of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. Other containers on this shelf are labeled with a B and a number. So I guess I can consider this shelving unit section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here, in which case I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. Let's see what's on this shelf. There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. This is probably... Whoa! I see a bottle in the wrong place. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number, so I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait! There's one bottle here that was labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements and Section B has reagents. Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A there was a bottle with a label from Section C. And that's kind of obvious, and it looks like it's empty. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on here. Oh, footprints. These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We might need to stretch out a foreplan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. What an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and pen.
What?
Well, let's go. Chop chop. What a dick. Okay. So I got to work, and before long I drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this? Not bad for you, I mean. For me.
I see.
So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left the footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, then left. How do you know they didn't just grab something from shelf C, and then when they were grabbing something from shelf C, they spilled the goddamn powder and then just stepped in the section where Section A is? Like... No? Okay, whatever. Well, that's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be.
It's
Makoto, while they're yours? No.
What?
Okay then, let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see, your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately. But with how clear these prints are, it should be able to quite easily determine who they belong to. And these prints are really a valuable clue. And then there was a midsection. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good and hard look at the powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled as Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left some footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take a look at around the rec room again. Okay. Really? There's nothing else? Okay. Oh. There really is nothing else. Alright, Bakula, you have anything to say?
I see.
Makoto, I admit you have good eyes for spotting useful clues. But you also need to learn how to make use of those clues. Shut up. Get good, scrub. That's the... Let me teleport. I need to teleport. Rec room.
Hey,
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's also convenient. Someone must be lying. I think it's Hiro. Immediately, I think it's Hiro. Because he had a candy wrapper. The only way he could have had that was if he was given a candy by Sakura. Because she was given candy by Hina. Unless Hina gave him candy beforehand. But she didn't mention that at all, so I'm assuming that's not the case. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time. Okay. There are shards of glass scattered around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red and there are top and bottom sections of the bottle, right? So this must have been originally a bottle. And on top of that, near the glass, is a Monokuma figure that fits in the palm of my hand. What about it? I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new, something new.
Hey,
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention to, and you're sure to find a correlation. Hey Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
so...
I don't mind guiding you towards the clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come up with their own conclusions so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? Wow. I do trust you to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree. Well, to be fair, you were kind of a dipshit to her in the last chapter, Makoto.
Hey,
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
anyway...
You gather up all the pieces of broken Monokuma bottle, try to get the smaller pieces too. Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
It's already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so...
So then...
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choices do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken pieces. And just as I finished up... Sorry to keep you waiting.
So then...
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words...
I got a scare from the chem lab. We're gonna use it to compare the weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected in one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
Listen.
First, let's compare the weight of two of the normal Monokuma bottles. They're equivalent. It's balanced.
In other words...
Which means each Monokuma bottle weighs around the same. Makes sense? The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
So then...
So here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now what might we expect to see? Maybe around the same balance, or maybe the broken bits being a bit lighter because of inconsistencies with broken glass. Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. Yep. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
So then...
Okay, then let's give it a try. Oh. Huh. Does that mean someone broke 2 bottles? Or 3 bottles? Or 4 bottles? But like, where are the other Monokuma figures then? Huh. Interesting. The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other
The
words...
results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. Put it all together.
Hey,
And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. Huh. I don't know what I think yet. Something new, something new.
hey.
The pieces of chess Monokuma's holding. Hold on, what are the chess pieces? So the pawn's on the left, the bishop's the second, the knight should be the third, the fourth is the rook, the fifth is the queen, the fourth is the king. So the knight and the queen are missing, but someone took the figurine of the queen. I think that's what she's pointing to. Someone used 2 bottles instead of 1. And smacked Sakura around with it, I guess. I mean, sure, I could have just figured that out from seeing 2 big-ass missing spaces in between some bottles. Like, it's not that hard. I figured that was even the case. Uh-huh.
So...
Yep.
Indeed.
Can I leave now? Nope. There was something else, wasn't there? Do I need to talk to Kyoko again?
In other words... Hey,
Bro. Hina?
What the heck?
We already... Oh, okay.
the worst.
Alright. I get it. I gave that to Sakura. She got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? Okay. Makoto, you're not gonna match this to the trash Hiro had earlier or anything? Nothing? According to Kyoko, there's still something discovered from to be discovered from Sakura's
Just a
body.
second.
Just staring off into space isn't gonna help you figure anything else out. Yeah, well, I know, but
Hey,
don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there are still some times where, damn, I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
it's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you?
So...
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Are you the ultimate detective? You're the ultimate detective. That would make sense if you were the ultimate detective. Put the 2 pieces together, Makoto. Sorry, never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, look here. What is that? It's the yellow powder from the lab. It's the poison powder. So does that mean Sakura spilled the poison powder? And it fell on top of her shoes? Check the bottom of her shoes as well. Her shoes?
correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1. That's the poison.
Hey,
Next is the wound to her. Look carefully.
it's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. So she was slammed in the head with 2 bottles. And then the killer took the rook pieces, or whatever pieces they got, or one of them at least, and then left the other one. And then Sakura went to lock the door and closed herself in. But if she has the poison powder on her shoe, then she went to get the poison. Or maybe she went to get the protein and accidentally poisoned herself? Because there was a bottle of chemical C4 in shelf A, right? So maybe? But like, it's such an obvious bottle though. You really wouldn't have to, like, you would really have to be out of it in order not to notice the big ass red chemical, deadly chemical bottle inside of one of the shelves that's not supposed to be there. Because I saw it eventually right away. And I'm not a person who pays attention to that many details in a photo, to be quite honest with you. Alright, I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off.
In other words...
The result of our experiment... Okay.
Hey,
So what do you think? It's all on you? Yep. Are we gonna go through this again? There's blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. I can only assume... Why is it so far away from where she died? Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. The magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident? That could have been done any time, though.
Hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through the pages. This is Toko? No fucking way. Okay? No fucking way. On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in blood, or bold bloody letters. It said Toko. Could this be a dying message?
correct.
And it would appear you found it. That doesn't make any sense, though. So let's say it was Toko, or maybe Genocide Jack. Either or, one of them slammed her in the head with bottles. And then, all of a sudden, she puked up blood. And then Sakura decided to write Toko's name in a book and then put it on the shelf upside down, and then went to like lock the door behind her and sit on the chair to die because she knew she was poisoned. How does that work? That makes no sense. Or maybe Sakura... No, by that point, I think you'd know you were poisoned if you were coughing up and vomiting blood. So yeah, what the fuck? That's such a stupid way to do it. I doubt that was even Sakura's dying message, to be honest. I don't think so. I think that was put there. And the reason I think that was put there, because one sus thing happened earlier, someone planted the bottle of protein near the door on top of the glass, which would lead me to believe that someone is also planting that shit right there. Kyoko, is this?
So,
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
however,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, that's Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. And she's the killer, right? No. Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer? Not really. Anybody could have written that. We don't know when that was written there. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me much more suspicious. Especially when someone was planting evidence before. It's sussy-wussy.
Whoops, you caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake.
Shut up, Monokuma.
Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I?
No,
Can
you
I?
cannot.
Okay, then let's begin the class trial. Please go through the red...
I feel like this was such a short investigation compared to all the other ones we've done. Actually, to be fair, our last investigation was a double murder, so there's that. It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. And as per usual, I'm gonna leave it off here, guys, because that class trial is probably gonna be like 2 hours long, and I don't want to make this episode like 3 hours long. I want most of this playthrough to have a structure, so I'm gonna leave it off here. I'm gonna be excited to see what the hell's up with this locked room scenario, because like, okay, Sakura was hit in the head with bottles. I want to know, how did the locked situation come to be without the killer being in the room? But then the killer might not be the person who bashed her in the head with the bottles, because I don't even think that's what Sakura died from. Right? Because she was vomiting blood at that point. And she was sat down peacefully on the couch smiling as she died. We saw that, right? When we looked into the window? Or rather, when Makoto said he felt her cold body, and then it panned up to her face with her sitting peacefully, she kind of looked like she was at peace, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if she poisoned herself. Come to think of it, she had the poison from the bottle falling in the chem lab on her shoe, and on top of it, not on the bottom, meaning she went to get the poison, right? And she spilled the poison. Because unless she did, then all she would have had to do is step over the powder, meaning the underside of her foot would be covered in the yellow dust. But it was the top of her foot, right? The top of her shoes. But then my question is, why did she leave a poison thing in Section A? And why did someone plant the protein cup on top of the glass in front of the door? I don't know. Is someone trying to fuck shit up again? Is this a Byakuya 2.0 situation? This feels like it's a Byakuya 2.0 situation where someone's like messing with the crime scene to like entertain themselves or some shit. Or watch Hiro end up being like an evil sadistic bastard or something. I swear to God. Whatever. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Keep pimpin' my Monokuma. Bashing. Pips.